Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidvaram Manojavam Marudatulyavegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayutamukhyam Sri Ramadutam Sirasadamami Santoshini Jagannmata Mama Saubhagyavriddhaye Namaskaromi Bhaktya Tvam Prasanna Varada Bhava Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kridau Vande Bhagavandau Punah Punah Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha-jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashandaya Dakshinamuktaye Namaha Satchitanandarupaya Vishwotpatyadihedave Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Nilam Bhujasyamalako-malangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Mahasayaka Charuchapam Namami Ramam Rakhuvam Shanatham. So we are in Lanka Kant. Bhagavan, after making the bridge across the ocean, reached the Lanka and putting up camps there. Bhagavan was thinking, now we have to send one more person as a messenger to try to change the mind of Ravana. This is the strategy, Yuddha Niti. Last resort only you have to get into the war. You have to try all method. You can see in Mahabharata also, Bhagavan himself goes as a Shanti Dut. But here this time they sent the Angada. Now we saw the conversation between Angada and Ravana. Finally, Angada thought that he is convinced that he is not going to listen to good advice. Ravana is not going to. And he came back immediately. Bhagavan asked, what are the 4 crowns you sent here? What is the meaning of sending me these 4 crowns of Ravana? Now, Angada's answer, you see, very beautiful. He says, Raja has to follow 4 kinds of niti. One is Sama, Dana, Veda, Danda. Ravana is not following anyone. So all those policies thought that what is the use of remaining with Ravana? And hence they came to you. Look at this. Now How? O Lord, remaining with Bhagavan, the monkey also became scholarly now. Now again that night, Mandodari tried to talk to Ravana, but his mind was not ready for any kind of right advice. So there was no other go but fight. Now Bhagavan called all of them, let us plan what action is to be taken. This Lanka has 4 dwaras, gates, south, north, east and west. Bhagavan divided his army into 4 sections and sent them towards each gate and attack. And there was a fierce battle. Now in Lanka Kand, all those descriptions are there. Bhayankara war was going on. War is such that sometimes you think that Rakshasas are winning, and sometimes Bhagavan's side. But one by one, Ravana's senapatis were dying. In this war, you will find that someday one warrior become powerful. Nothing can stand against him. This is the case with both the parties. So there is a man of the day. One day Angad, and another day Hanuman, and another day even Jambavan. One day even Vibhishana became a great hero. Then one day Lakshmana, like this. Fascinating description is there in Tulsidaji's Yuddhakand. The way the war is fought is indescribable. Ravana was getting news of his generals getting died. This Senapati died today, then afterwards another Senapati died today. Then finally his sons were also sent. They were also gone. Then finally he had to wake up Kumbhakarna. And in between, one day Ravana also came to fight in the battlefield. But that day, Bhagavan defeated him and then told him, now today you are tired, go back. Go and come back tomorrow. And he goes back completely disheartened. But then now there is no other way. We have to wake up Kumbhakarna. Now waking up Kumbhakarna also, detailed description are there. How to wake him up was a great job. Because he was like a big mountain. But finally they were able to, even elephants were trampling upon him, still he won't get up. Finally they knew that he has a weakness for food. So they kept all hot food they kept near the nostril. So he was smelling that, and then some murchi masala. I think this Sri Lankan food, lot of chilies are there. So that must have hit him. So he got up. Then he asked, why did you wake me up? So the king wants you. So he went. And Bhagarna is also wonderful. He advised him. You have brought this Jagadamba here. How can you feel happy? Please return. And Ravana said, nothing doing. If you have come to advise me, go back to sleep. I will fight my war. This is my war. I will fight. Then he said, I am telling you for your good, but I will go to the battlefield, I will fight. I will see what I can do. So he goes to the battlefield. Now when Vibhishana saw his brother, he comes in front of him. And Kumbhakarna is a very strange person. He said, "Hey Vibhishana, blessed indeed you are. In our whole family, you are the only sensible person. That you are devoted to Rama. Now don't stand in front of me." He was intoxicated with the war. And finally there was a fight between this Vanarasena and Kumbhakarna. It is a beautiful description in Tulsi Ramayana. Because Kumbhakarna was such a big size, These monkeys were going and attacking him. He was catching hold of everybody and eating him. And then what happened? His mouth was so big, so his ears also so big. So these people, he put them in his mouth, they came out through the ears. You see. So, and finally he was looking for not Vibhishana, Sugriva. Sugriva is the king. So he thought that he will catch hold of the king, then all the monkeys will be gone completely. So he caught hold of Sugriva and he put him on his armpit and crushed him there. And he thought that he died. So then afterwards he released a little bit. So Sugriva slipped from the thing, the armpit, and went on his head, and started biting his ears and nose and all that. And then he could not do anything. And suddenly then Sugriva jumped and then he caught hold of him from there. Again he smashed him. But Sugriva very beautifully he got up from there and went away. And like that there are some interesting stories, are the interesting aspect of this Kumbhakarna. Finally Bhagavan thought that he has to come to the battlefield and he shot. And first he cut off his one hand, then the second hand. Then also he was fighting with his mouth. That mouth also he put so many arrows and filled the mouth, so he cannot do anything. And then also he was coming forward to threatening the army of Vanaras. Looking at him, Vanara was frightened, they were running away. And seeing that, Bhagavan cut off his body. Then also with the cut body he was walking. And then cut off his head also. Finally he was killed. And when Kumbhakarna was killed, Ravana became completely fallen, destroyed, because he thought that Kumbhakarna will win his war for him. Because so far nobody can stand in front of Kumbhakarna. Even Devasura Yuddham also, even Devatas cannot stand in front of him. And that Kumbhakarna Bhagavan killed very easily. And then Indrajit came to the battlefield. He fought so fiercely, and that was his day. Nobody can stand. Indrajit also was a very expert in Maya fight. This Mayavi, he was a Mayavi. So this Maya war, he was continuously, completely hypnotized the whole crowd, and all the monkeys were completely lost their confidence, and then they tried to escape from the battlefield, and wherever they escaped, his arrow was there. So that was the magic of Indrajit. And finally he was faced with Lakshmana, and Lakshmana finally he could not defeat him that easily. So therefore he had one particular astra called Virakhatini Shakti, and he used that particular arrow and made our Lakshmana fall down in the battlefield unconscious. When Lakshmana fell down in the battlefield, he tried to lift him and take him to Lanka to show it to his father. See, look at this, what I have done. He wanted to lift him, but he could not lift him. Not only he could not lift him, so many Rakshasas together also they could not lift him. How can he lift him? He is Ananda Sheshanag. And immediately Hanumanji came and easily lifted him and gone. And seeing that, Indrajit was amazed. What is this going on? He was thinking. And now they were all sad because Lakshmana fallen down. Even Bhagavan also became very sad. And they were all thinking how to, revive Lakshmanji, how to cure him. But actually Hanumanji has seen one Chikitsalaya in Lanka. Because during his tour there, he saw one Chikitsalaya. Now, his name was Sushena. Now Hanumanji immediately went and lifted Sushena along with his dispensary. He did not ask permission or anything. Suppose you bring him alone, he will say, I didn't bring my stethoscope, I didn't bring my that equipment. He never gave him any chance to make any excuse. So then Sushena came and examined Lakshmana, and he said, we can revive him. Only thing, you have to get a medicine which is available only in Himalayas. Only Sanjeevani herb can save him. It is available in the Himalayas, Dronachal Parvat. It should come before sunrise. Now who can go? Hanumanji said, in boiling oil you put mustard seed. How long it will take to crack? That much time I can go and come. And Hanumanji went and he could not find the herb. So what he did was, he lifted the whole pharmaceuticals, the whole mountain. And in Tulsi Ramayana, this is very interesting that while coming back, he happened to fly over Ayodhya. And when he was flying over Ayodhya, and they saw some huge figure going. Somebody pointed out. So what happened? Bharata saw some Rakshasa is going over. He shot an arrow, brought him down. And while falling down, Hanumanji said, Ram, Ram, Ram. And Bharata was surprised. He's telling Ram, Ram, this is his name. How is that? So he woke him up and then asked, who are you? Then he narrated all that. And when Bharati came to know what is happening, he was very sad. But that he cannot leave that place also. He was given charge of the kingdom to rule. It is Bhagavan's kingdom, not my kingdom. So I have to take the responsibility. But Bharata said, I will shoot an arrow. You sit on that arrow, you will go straight to Bhagavan's place. You can do that. And Hanumanji said, no, I can do myself. So he finally lifted the mountain and came back. And what happened here in Lanka, everybody was anxiously waiting. Uhara.
राम लक्ष्मण ही निहारी बोले बचन मनुज अनुसारी अर्थ राधि गई कभी नहीं आयो राम उठाई अनुज उरलायो सगुन दुखित देवी मोहिकाओ बंधु सदा तब मृदल सुभाओ मम हित लागी तजेहु पितु माता सहयु पिपिन हिम आतप बाता सो अनुराग कहाँ अब भाई उठऊ न सुनी मम बच बिकलाई जो जन तेउ मन बंधु बिछोऊ पिता वचन मन तेउ नहीं ओहू सुत पित नारी भवन परिवारा ओहि जाहि जग बारहि बारा अस विचारि जिय जागहु ताता मिलई न जगत सोदर भ्राता जथा पंख बिनु खग अति दीना मणि बिनु फनि करि बर करहीना अस मम जीवन बंधु बिनु तोही जाऊं जड़ देव जियावे मोही.
Here Bhagavan is crying, keeping on his lap Lakshmana's head. Bhagavan Ramchandraji anxiously waiting for the arrival of Hanumanji. He said, it is already midnight, but Hanuman has not come back yet. This Lakshmana, he speaks to him, you could not bear any sorrow of mine. Now what happened to you? You are just lying down like this. If I had known that such a thing is going to happen, I would not even started this search for Sita or war. Now, when I go back, Sumitraji asked, what shall I tell her? This way, Bhagavan was crying like a very ordinary person to show his love towards his brother. At that time, suddenly they heard the sound of Hanumanji's arrival with the medicine. And medicine was brought, and Sushena went and picked up the herb and revived the Lakshmana. And Lakshmana got up hale and hearty. And Bhagavan was feeling grateful to Hanuman. And Bhagavan again embraced Hanumanji. And there is no one in this world who is equivalent to you in helping me like this. Lord Bhagavan praised him. In Ravana's camp, they were happy that Lakshmana has fallen. If Lakshmana dies, Rama becomes heartbroken and their victory will be sure. But when they got the news that Lakshmana is again ready, they were very sad. Now, the next choice is Indrajit. Indrajit had this particular power that it's a boon actually from his Ishtadevata, that he worship her in a particular way. There are certain Mula Mantras, if you chant that, this is a Tantric worship. And Tantric worship is very, that also Tamasic Tantric. So Tamasic Tantric, if you follow that rules and worship her, she, out of the Homakunda comes a celestial chariot and horses and bow and arrow. And with that, if you go to the battlefield, you become invincible. Nobody can defeat him. With that resolve in mind, he went secretly to a particular gufa and started performing his yajna, yaga, havan, propitiating Devi. And Vibhishana came to know that, and then he informed Bhagavan Ramachandraji, this is the case. If Indrajit succeed in his yajna, then we will not be able to defeat him. So we have to stop, we have to destroy his yajna. Bhagavan is a yajna rakshaka. But here, those yajnas are for the welfare of the society. This one is for destruction. So Bhagavan sent Vibhishana and Hanuman, Angada and Lakshmana. And they went and disturbed this Indrajit. Not only, but he cannot be destroyed that easily, disturbed that easily. But then what Hanumanji said, he took some water or something and put off the fire of the Havan Kund and then shook him. And finally he got really disturbed and came out of the cave, and then Lakshmana was waiting there, and there was a fierce battle with Lakshmana. That day it was Lakshmana's day. Generally, anyone who went to war without touching the feet of the Lord and getting his blessing, that day he could not do much. This time he took the blessings of Bhagavan, and thus finally he was able to kill Indrajit. So more than Kumbhakarna's death, Indrajit's death was celebrated in the heaven, because this Indrajit's death was very difficult. If someone practiced tapas like Lakshmana had done, 12 years, no food or sleep. That was his boon. Only such a person can kill Indrajit. So only Lakshmana could do it, because he was the avatar of the Sheshanak. All that when Ravana saw, one after another died. When now Meghadat died, Ravana decided to go to the battlefield. There is nobody else left. When both Ravana and Rama came face to face, Ravana other side with gloriously standing in the chariot, well equipped with equipment. And here Vibhishana saw Rama is standing on the ground without even having a padaraksha. So he approached Ramchandraji and said, this portion is called Vibhishana Gita. And how are you, Bhagavan? You are going to face such Mahaparakrami Ravana. That also, he is having a celestial chariot. It can fly in the sky. And celestial horses and celestial weapons. And you are standing on the ground without even having an armor on you. Without even having padaraksha. And at that time, Bhagavan gives this upadesha. This is called Vibhishana Gita. It is not Vibhishana giving upadesha, it is Ramchandraji giving upadesha to Vibhishana.
Ravanurati Raghubira Vekhi Vibhishana Bhayahu Adhira Adhika Priti Manabhasandeha Bandi Charana Kaha Sahita Saneha Nath Narath Nahi Tan Padatrana Kehi Vidhi Chitta Babir Balavana Sunahu Sakha Kaha Kripa Nidhana Jai Jaya Hoi So Sanadanana
Take Gunagana.
ताके गुणगण कछु कहे जड़मति तुलसीदास जिमि निज बल अनुरूप ते माछी उड़ण आकाश काटे सिर भुज बार बहु मरत न भट लंकेश प्रभु क्रीडत सुर सिद्ध मुनि व्याकुल देखि कलेश पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय।
Ravana's chariot, well equipped with all weapons. Here Rama standing on the earth without even a footwear. Only Dhanushban. Vibhishana became anxious, came to Bhagavan and said that Ravana is Balavan and got varieties of weapon, and you are without chariot, and how will you conquer him? This doubt came due to his love for the Lord, not that he doubted Bhagavan's prowess. Bhagavan understood and said, the chariot that lead one to victory is something different. His is Yuddha Ratha, but another one is called Dharma Ratha. Only the one who has got the chariot of righteousness with him, that person only wins. Therefore, in the Mahabharata, there is one statement, is there, Yato Dharmaha Tato Jayaha. Where dharma is, there victory is. And with the help of the chariot metaphor, Bhagavan describes what are the values that constitute dharma. Those values are valor, fortitude, truthfulness, good conduct, moral strength, discrimination between right and wrong, control over yourself, thinking of the welfare of others, forgiveness, compassion, equanimity, devotion to God, dispassion, contentment, generosity, the knowledge of the self, a peaceful, purified mind, and all other virtues like Shama, Dama, Yama, Niyama. And one bulletproof jacket is devotion and worship to your Guru and great people. That alone will protect you. These virtues only make righteous life, not otherwise. If one has this kind of a chariot, then no enemy can stand in front of him. Our greatest enemy is our own abhiman or ego. And when that ego is conquered, that person has conquered everything. Vibhishana feel very grateful. Bhagavan, under this pretext, I got the lesson on virtues and dharma. Because after Ravana, Vibhishana is going to be the king. So it was an indirect instruction to him. Ravana was completely opposite. This portion is called Vibhishana Gita, teaching to Vibhishana by Bhagavan Ramachandra ji. Now the battle between Ravana and Rama became very fierce. Now Ramachandra ji thought that how to kill this Ravana now. In Valmiki Ramayana, when Bhagavan was thinking how to kill him without using my divinity, that was, because he was a human being. As a human being, how will I kill this Rakshasa who has got miraculous powers? So that is the time Agastya Rishi comes and gave him this Aditya Hridayam, and with that power Bhagavan was able to kill him. But in this Tulsi Ramayanam that was not mentioned. So Bhagavan was thinking, why? Because Kate Sirabuja Bar Bahu Maratana Bhata Sanke Lankesh Prabhu Kridata Surasiddha Muni Vyakula Deki Kalesh. And he was cutting his head and hands. And what happened was, again it was coming. And the whole battlefield was filled with Ravana's head and hands. But still he was not dying. And Bhagavan was thinking what to do. Now this news was given to Sitaji. Sitaji is sitting in the Shogavadi and getting, the time to time news. Somebody was giving her news. Like you people get war news, CNN, cable news. Like that there was a reporter. Trijala was giving her all the news. And suddenly she is thinking how our Lord is not able to kill this Rakshasa. When it is really going to happen, she became anxious. And Trijala says, it is not that Ramchandraji doesn't want to kill him, but there is a problem. Now what is the problem? He said that in order to kill him, he has to shoot arrow to his heart. Now what happens is, in his heart, you are living. Because he is kept Sitaji in his heart. Ravana has kept Sitaji in his heart. Now what is wrong in shooting there? Because then Sitaji get hurt. And Sitaji's heart, Ramchandraji is there. Now if I shoot there, what happens? If Ramchandraji is shot, the whole world will disappear. That is why he is hesitating to shoot. Look at this. These are all kalpana, kavi kalpana, imagination. A wonderful thought. But then what happened was, when Bhagavan became, it is not that he didn't know what to do, but he was giving a chance for his devotee to help him. Now look at this. Next.
पाटत बढ़हि शीर्ष समुदायी जिमि प्रति लाभ लोभ अधिकाई मरई नरिपु श्रम भय विशेषा राम विभीषण तन तब देखा उमा काल मर जागी इच्छा सो प्रभु जन कर प्रीति परीक्षा सुनु सर्वज्ञ चराचर नायक प्रणत पाल सुर मुनि सुखदायक नाभि कुंड पीयूष बसयाके नाथ जियत रावण बल ताके सुनत विभीषण बचन कृपाला हर्षि कहे कर बाण कराला अशुभ हो न लागे तब नाना रोमहि हर सुकाल बहु स्वाना बोलहि खग जग आरती हेतु प्रगट भये नभ जहतह केतु दस दिशिदा हो न अतिलागा भयउ परब बिनु रवि उपरागा मंदोदरी उर कंपति भारी प्रतिमा स्तवहि नयन मगवारी प्रतिमारुदहि पतिपात नभ अतिपात बहडोलति महि वर्षहि बराहक रुधिर कच रज अशुभ अति सक को कहि उत्पात अमित विलोकि नभ सुर विकल बोलहि जय जय सुर सभय जानि कृपाल रघुपति चाप
चिसरासन श्रवण लगी छाड़े सर एक तीस रघुनायक सायक चले मानहु काल फनीस। रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय।
Bhagavan looks at Vibhishana. Why he is not dying? Vibhishana understood. So he went near Bhagavan and told him, in his navel there is Amrita Kalasham. That is why he is hiding it there. That's why he is not dying. That Bhagavan understood. This time he took his bow and one time he fixed 31 arrows. 10 for the head, 20 for the hands, 1 for the navel. Like Kala Sarpa, Rama's arrows went and Ravana became at once headless, handless and finally lifeless. Boliye Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. All the gods showered flowers from the heaven and he fell down on the ground dead. And at that time he was still not left his body. He was dying. That dying time, that is the only time he said Ram. Until then, he never uttered the name Ram. He always called Ramchandraji as Vanavasi. That prince, like that only he addressed. But at the last moment he realized it was Bhagavan Rama. And Bhagavan gave him this Vaikuntha Prapti. But there is an interesting episode. This is a side story, because side story in Ramayana everybody likes it. Bhagavan asked Lakshmana, go and ask Ravana what is his life message. Lakshmana was hesitant. What? This Rakshasa I had to go and ask. No. He is learned and experienced. So go and ask his last advice, what is that? So Lakshmana hesitantly went and asked, what is your advice? So Ravana said, see, whenever you feel like doing good, do it immediately. Whenever you feel like doing something bad, postpone it. So this was very good advice. Ravana was doing opposite. Then when they heard that Ravana fell down in the battlefield, Mandodari and all other women came running to the battlefield, and Mandodari did not blame Ramachandraji at all. She said, how many times you were told to return Sitaji, but you did not listen to. And Ramachandraji himself gave you so many opportunities. And why did you not listen? Look at you. The person who decorated Simhasan, glorious Simhasan, won over the entire world with your mighty hands. And what happened to those hands? Lying down on the bare earth. Like that she started crying. And it is said Vibhishana was hesitating for a moment to do the final rites. Bhagavan said, all enmity ends with the death. Now he is mine as is yours. Now do all that for funeral rites appropriate for a king. And that was done. and you have to be coronated here as Lankesh. He sent Lakshmana and Sugriva to do the ceremony. Then what happened? Vibhishana is coronated. The news was given to Sitaji. Hanuman, you go and give the news to her and bring her here. She was brought in the palanquin. All monkeys who were standing there, they were so eager to see her. Then Bhagavan said, ask her to come down from the palanquin and walk, so that all the monkeys can see her. Now, you see, in any climax in the story, if it is a Bollywood movie or a Hollywood movie, last moment the hero, heroine, when they are meeting, when they see, they run for each other and there is a close-up right there. That never happened here. Ramchandraji did not run and hug her, but stood there like a rock. Because Sitaji's original form is in the fire. Bhagavan wanted to retrieve that form. Therefore, this Agni Pariksha is done. He also knew if Sitaji comes and I accept her just like that, then the world will doubt her purity and chastity. So that has to be proved. That time he speaks that kind of words, that Sita, the whole war was fought because of you, but not for you. Now you are free, you can go anywhere you want. She was stunned. Hanumanji, Lakshmanji was looking at Bhagavan. Yeah, this is our compassionate Lord speaking. But Sitaji understood, said, Lakshmana, prepare a fire. I will now burn myself in the fire. And Lakshmana was not ready, but he looked at Ramchandraji. Ramchandra said, go ahead, do it. And she enters into the fire saying, if even in dream I have thought of anyone else other than Rama, let this fire consume me. When she entered the fire, Sakshat Agni Devata appeared and said, Ram, she is purity itself. Why are you even doing this Agni Pariksha? In the Upanishad also it is talked about. Nowadays, lie detector is there. In those days they were asked to hold hot iron rod. To Satyavadi, his hands won't get burnt. We don't understand the laws of dharma. Whether you say to bring Sitaji's original form, he did Agni Pariksha, or people should not doubt later on. Whatever it is, but still people doubted later on also. Then why did Rama leave her in the forest? Remember, Bhagavan knew that this is what people would tell. He thought if people talk about me, I was heartless, I don't mind, they blame me. But nobody should doubt Sitaji's purity. So later on, sent to forest was also to keep her name above all blemishes. But that portion Tulsidaji never mentioned in his Ramayana. Now Sitaji comes out, Bhagavan's eyes were in tears, and he said, please don't misunderstand me. I never had any question about your purity, but people would have doubted. That would have been very painful. And now there was all joy. Vibhishana said, please come to the court. Bhagavan said, no, I can't stay one more day. My Bharata is waiting for me. 14 years are getting over. Only one day remains, and if I don't go, I will not see him alive. Do something so that I can reach in time. Then Vibhishana said, Radha, there is a Pushpa Viman. Okay. Then he said, he brought Pushpa Viman, and looking at Pushpa Viman, Bhagavan said, you do one thing. You take this Pushpak and put all ornaments, clothes, jewels, etc. and let the Viman go, take off in the air, and from the sky you go on dropping all these Vanaras. Let them get it. And what happened? Vishnu did all that, all the monkeys got so many ornaments and clothes and all that. And they wore all the clothes, you know how monkeys wear clothes. And then ornament, it came to Ramchandraji, how I look. And Bhagavan, so he started laughing. Then finally Indra Bhagavan, see, Indra did not partake in the war. So he was very afraid of Ravana. So until then, he never took part in it or offered any help to Bhagavan also. So after Ravana was killed, he was feeling bad. I didn't do anything for Ramachandraji, no seva. So he came and told Bhagavan, sir, what can I do? I want to do some seva for you. He said, okay. Bhagavan said, Bhagavan is also compassionate. He said, if you want to do something, do one thing. Say, bring some nectar, amrita from heaven, and sprinkle in the battlefield. All these monkeys die for my sake. So, let them be revived. They come back to life. Then, this Indra looked at the battlefield because the battlefield was mixed with monkeys and Rakshasas both, you see. So if you put sprinkle Amrit, both will come up, isn't it? So then the purpose of the whole battle is over. And Bhagavan said, don't worry, you just sprinkle. Then Indra brought Amrit and sprinkle everywhere. What happened? Only monkeys came up. Rakshasa did not come out. Why? Tulsidaji says, because they all merged, all the Rakshasas merged with Bhagavan. Because when you fight with in the battlefield, what happened is, they are looking at Ramchandraji. And monkeys are looking at Rakshasas, isn't it? But those Rakshasas are looking at Bhagavan. And while dying, whom they see? The Lord. Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Bhagavan said, if you remember me and die, you will come to me, he said. So look at those Rakshasas. These are all beautiful thoughts Tulsidaji gives here. And they became one with the Lord. Such wonderful things are there. Now let us return to Ayodhya. Lord Rama sat in the Pushpa Viman, then Sitaji, Lakshmanji, Sugriva, Hanuman, Vibhishan, Angad, Nala, Neela, all sat in the Viman. Now Pushpa Viman was such that it can be expanded. As the capacity, the number of people increases, it expands. On the way, Ramchandraji was explaining to Sitaji, for you, what all things I did, you know. Here Indrajit was killed, Bhakarna was killed here. I did all that for you. Now she was looking at you, what I was enjoying there or what? All the time worrying. Now this way they were talking to each other. Bhagavan came to Bharadwaj Muni's ashram, then told Hanuman, before I go there, go to Ayodhya and give report to Bharat that I am coming, and come back and tell me what is happening there. And that will come in Uttarakhand, that we will see. Those who listen, now Tulsidaji says, Samara Vijay, Doha. Samara Vijay Raghuvir ke.
Samara Vijay Raghuvir ke. Charit je sunahi विकालमलायतन मन करिते कुविचार श्री रघुनाथ नाम तजी नाहिन आन आधार। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भय सब संतन की जय।
Those who listen to the story of Bhagavan's killing of Ravana, they will also be successful in life. Also Vivek and all prosperity will come to them. Bhagavan's Gunagan is the best support for us. With this, Lanka Kand is concluded. Boliye Siyavar Ramachandra ki Jai. Now we'll enter into Uttarakand. There are 3 verses. Let us read that. Keki Kantha.
केकी कण्ठाभनीलं सुरवरविलसत् विप्रपादाब्जचिह्नम् शोभाढ्यं पीतवस्त्रं सरसिजनयनं सर्वदा सुप्रसन्नम् पाणौ नाराचचापम् कपिनिकरयुतं बन्धुना सेव्यमानं नौमीर्यं जानकीशं रघुवरमनिशं पुष्पकारूढरामम् कोसलेन्द्रपदकञ्जमञ्जुलौ कोमलावचमहेशवन्दितौ जानकीकरसरोजलालितौ चिन्तकस्य मनभृङ्गसन्निधौ कुन्द इन्दुधरगौरसुन्दरम् अम्बिकापतिमभीष्टसिद्धिदम् कारुणीककलकजलोचनम् नौमि शङ्करमनङ्गमोचनम्.
Now we have reached the last canto of Sri Ramcharitmanas, that is called Uttarakand. So this also begins with Sanskrit slokas. Naumi, bow down to idiom, most worshipful Ramam, Rama. Here Pushpakaruta Rama, who is seated in the Pushpaka Viman. How he is? Keki Kandhapa Neelam, Neelavarnam. The different examples are given like water-bearing clouds, etc., blue lotus, etc. Now here, Tulsidaji gives the blue color obtaining in the neck of a peacock. Keki Kandhapa Neelam. And Suravara Vilasat Viprapadapcha Chinnam. On his chest there is a mark of the foot of a rishi, Bhrigu Maharshi. Shobhadhyam, most graceful. Pitavastram, wearing the yellow garment. Sarasija Nayanam, lotus-eyed. Sarvada Suprasannam, always cheerful. Panau Naracha Chapam, wielding bow and arrow in the hand. Kapi Nikara Yutam, at this time he is surrounded by monkeys. Bandhuna Sevyamanam, being served by his own brother. Janakisham, Lord of Janaki, Rakhuvaram, the best among Rakhu, Pushpaka Rudha Ramam, this Rama seated in the Pushpaka Vimana. Number 2, second verse, Tulsidaji is meditating upon the lotus feet of Bhagavan, how they are. Kosalendra Patakanja Manjulau, his feet is of beautiful, so tender. Komalau, Aja Mahesha Vandidau, and even Brahmaji, Shivaji, they also do namaskar to this lotus feet. Janaki Garasaro Jalalitau, and they are caressed by the lotus hands of Janaki. Chintakasya Manabhringa Sanginau, those who are contemplative people, they are always meditating upon the lotus feet of the Lord, like a bee hovering over lotus. Number 3, Lord Shiva is worshipped here, who is of the fair complexion, the Lord of Ambika and giver of all desired object, most compassionate, and that Bhagavan we bow down to. We saw when Vibhishana requested the Lord to come and bless his palace, Bhagavan said, my mind is with Bharata. I can't think of anyone because only one day remaining, and if I don't reach, then I will not see him when I reach there. He will not keep his life, therefore I should reach him soon. Pushpavimana came and they landed at the Bharadwaj ashram. As Sitaji said to Gangaji, she will be worshipping her on her return, and she did that. And instead of coming to Ayodhya straight away, Bhagavan Ramchandraji sent Hanumanji first, because he knew Bharata will become so impatient. Actually, Bharata had sent so many people in different directions to find out Rama has returned. He went to forest by walking, but coming back by air, he didn't know. Bharat was anxious because he did not receive any report of Rama's coming back. All the citizens of Ayodhya was waiting, doing japa and tapas for Bhagavan to come. Only one day is remaining, and they were over anxious. The last moment everybody became over anxious. But at the same time in their heart there were great joy also, and everywhere good omens were happening. So they were feeling that even though we have no news, he will come. Kausalyaji and other mothers also, they were feeling someone going to come and tell us he is coming or he has come. What to talk about Bharata? Bharata on one hand getting worried because no news, but at the same time his right eye hand was throbbing, which was a good sign. Bharata was thinking,
रहे एक दिन अवधि अधारा, समुझत मन दुख भय अपारा, कारण कवन नाथ नहीं आयो, जानी कुटिल कीन्ही मोहि बिसरायो, अह धन्य लक्ष्मण बड़ भागी, राम पदार बिंदु अनुरागी, कपटि कुटिल मोहि प्रभु चीन्हा, ताते नाथ संग नहीं लीन्हा, ज्यों करनी समुझै प्रभु मोरी, नहीं निस्तार कल्प सत कोरी, जन अवगुण प्रभु मान न काहू, दीन बंधु अति मृदुल सुभाऊ, मोरे जिय भरोस दृढ़ सोई, मिली गई राम सगुन शुभ होई, बीते अवधि रही जो प्राणा, अधम कवन जग मोहि समाना। राम विरह सागर महा, भरत मगन मन होत, विप्र रूप धरि पवन सुत, आई गयो जन पोत। बैठे देखी कुशासन, जटा मुकुट कृश कात, राम राम रघुपति जपत, श्रवत नयन जल जात। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भय सब संतन की जय।
Only one day was still remaining, but same time Bharata's mind was drowning in sorrow and grief. Why is it that Bhagavan has not come? Even at least nearby 10 miles away or 20 miles away, such news you should get, but nothing. Because of me only, birth of mine is the cause of all this trouble. Has he forgotten me? Hey Lakshmana, blessed indeed is your life. He is so devoted to Bhagavan that Bhagavan took him with him. My mind is not that poor, thinking that he did not take me with him, but he took Lakshmana. But when I think of Bhagavan, I know he will not think like that, because Bhagavan is very, very soft and kind-hearted, and anyone who is his servant, even if it is his fault, Bhagavan forgives him. And that is actually is the one giving me support. When I look at myself, I thinking he is not coming back, but I look at his nature, he will forgive me and return to Ayodhya. He has promised and he will fulfill his promise. And good omens are also taking place. And 14 years completed, and Bhagavan doesn't come, then there cannot be any mean person than me. Thus his mind was drowning in sorrow of that separation. And at that time, Hanumanji came in the form of a Brahmana. He came there like a ship to save Bharata from drowning in the ocean of sorrow. He came there chanting Ram, Ram. Hanumanji saw the love of Bharata for Rama, and seeing that he was so delighted, he said that Bhagavan whom you constantly remembering is just arriving. He is just arriving. And the moment he heard that Rama is arriving, Bharata forgot all his sorrows. He got up from his seat and inquired, who you are? The news for which I am longing all the time to hear, you have given me. There cannot be any more precious news than this. Hanuman introduced himself that I am Hanuman, son of Vayudevata. I also came with him. He just sent me in advance to let you know that he is coming. Because of over anxiety, if you take wrong step, you will regret whole life. Bharata said, you have given me such a great news, I don't know what shall I give you in return. Hanumanji said, just wait, Bhagavan is coming. So saying, he left for where Ramchandraji said he is. Great news of Bhagavan's arrival. Hanumanji went back to where Ramchandraji was Hanumanji informed Bhagavan, no more delay. He is eagerly waiting for you. Here when Bharata got the news, immediately that news was spread everywhere in Ayodhya. Everybody started running here and there asking, have you seen him? Have you seen him? Then they said, he has not yet come. Everyone was crowding wherever they could find place to stand. Now, read Iha.
Iha Bhanukul Kamal Divakar Kapila Dehavat Nagar Manohar Sudu Kapis Angad Lankesa Pavana Puri Ruchiraya Desa Jadyapi Sab Vaikuntha Bakhana Veda Purana Vidita Jagujana Avadhapuri Samapriya Nahi So Yaha Prasanga Janai Ko Janma Bhumi Mama Puri Suhavani Uttara Disi Bahasar Jupavani Jamarjanate Vinahi Prayasa Mama Samipa Narapavahi Basa Ati Priya Mohi Iha Ke Basi Mama Dhamada Puri Sukharasi Harshe Sab Kapi Suni Prabhu Bani Dhanyavad Jo Ram Bakhani.
Here Ramchandraji was speaking to his friends. Now they are flying from Bharadwaj Rishi's ashram to Ayodhya. And on the way, Bhagavan was speaking to his friends. He said, listen, O Sugriva, Angada, Vibhishana, see my most holy city. Even though Veda Shastra and everyone extol Vaikuntha, but I tell you, very few people know that Ayodhya is greater than Vaikuntha. I love Ayodhya more than Vaikuntha. See, look at my Janma Bhumi. Northern direction is this Sarayu Nadi flowing, and those who take bath in Sarayu Nadi, they cross over this samsar and they come to me easily. People who are here, they are very dear to me. And it is one of the moksha sthan of in Bharat. Listening to this, the monkeys were very happy. Now, Avatadekhi, near that Ayodhya Bhagavan saw proper land to land, Pushpa Viman. At that time, he addressed to the Viman saying, you can now go back to Kubera Bhagavan, because it actually belonged to Kubera Bhagavan. Ravana took it from him by force. Ravana never manufactured anything in Lanka. Whatever good he saw elsewhere, he took it by force. But Pushpaviman was very sad leaving Bhagavan. But he was happy going back to his Swami. But Bhagavan told him, whenever I think of you, you can come and serve me. So he was very happy. Now, with Bharata, all Gurujan, Vasishtha, Vamadev, all came. As soon as he saw his Guru, he prostrated to Vasishtha ji When Vasishtaji asked, "How are you?" "Maharaj, by your grace, all is fine." Bhagavan did namaskar to all the Rishimunis, and now the turn to Bharata came, and Bharata fell at the feet of Bhagavan. Bharata did not want to get up. He was holding Bhagavan's feet. Bhagavan forcefully lifted him because he wanted to hug him. Fighting tears flowing from the eyes of Bhagavan, both of them were crying. It looks as though beauty and love were an embrace of each other. When Bhagavan asked Bharata, "How are you?" words will not come out of his mouth. Thereafter Bhagavan met Shatrughna, Bharata met Lakshmana, Shatrughna met Lakshmana, all met each other. Bharata Shatrughna bowed down to Sitaji. Looking at Bhagavan, everybody was delighted. Everybody wanted to touch his feet or look at him. Then a miracle happened. Suddenly Bhagavan appeared there in countless form, and each one was feeling they met Bhagavan personally. Then Kausalyaji, how mother cow rushes to meet its calf, so eagerly they ran towards each other. Sitaji also met all mothers-in-laws. Lakshman also did namaskar to all mothers, including Kaikeyi. But Tulsidaji says he still did not give up his anger towards her. Bhagavan also prostrated to all mothers without any grudge against Kaikeyi. Here, very important thing to be seen. Puni Raghupati.
पुनि रघुपति सब सखा बुलाए, मुनि पद लागहु सकल सिखाए। गुर वशिष्ठ कुल पूज्य हमारे, इनकी कृपा तनु चरण मारे। ए सब सखा सुनहु मुनि मेरे, भय समर सागर कह बेरे। मम हित लागी जन्म इन हारे, भरतहु ते मोहि अधिक पियारे। सुनि प्रभु वचन मगन सब भाए, निमिष निमिष उपजत सुख नाए।
Here, important things to be seen. Bhagavan is introducing his Guru Vasishta to the monkey king Sugriva, Vibhishana, Hanumanji, Nala, Nila, Angada, etc. And what he says, see here, he is our Guru for the entire Surya Vamsha. It is because of his grace and blessings alone we were able to kill the Rakshasas there. And do you know what he tells Vasishtaji? He says, "Hey Munivar, these are all my friends. They gave their life for my sake. Because of them only we were able to win this battle." Now look at this. Bhagavan is the one who does everything, but did actually everything, but he gives credit to all of them. I think we all have to learn from this, because we are miserly in giving credit to others. All the time we think we are doing everything. And all Bhagavan's friends went to do namaskar and to Kausalyaji, and she said, "You are all dear to me like Rama." Bhagavan saw that Kaikeyi was feeling so miserable. She did not know where to look. Therefore Bhagavan went to her palace first. "Oh mother, you don't feel bad for anything. and consoled her, saying that many good things have happened during this 14 years Vanavas. I was able to have satsang with great Mahamunis, spend time with them. Not only that, I was able to do some service to the Yunis in Dandakaranya, and finally we were able to kill Ravana also. So all these good things happened because of you, so don't feel bad. He consoled her and he went to his own palace. Now beautiful things are told here. Bhagavan called Bharata, Shatrughna and Lakshmana. They were all in tapasvi form, Jata Mukuta. With Jatas, Bhagavan unlocked all that with his own hand. Not only that, he gave them bath. And when it came to his own turn, he said, I will do myself. What does it indicate? The one who is the eldest person, his job is only to serve, not taking service from others, but serve others. There all the mother-in-laws took Sitaji and gave her bath, and all the mothers saw Ram, and on his left side sitting Sitaji. They felt today our eyes were fulfilled, the purpose of vision. Then Vasishtaji says to Sumantra and others, why are we delaying now? We should do this coronation ceremony today only. Because that Dasharatha Maharaj said, we will do the coronation tomorrow. Then you know what happened. It went to 14 years. He said, don't do it tomorrow. Let us do it now. And then Vasishtaji saw Ramji. He said, Prabhu Viloki.
Viloki Muni Manuraga Turata Divya Singhasan Maga Rabi Samatej Soparani na jai Baithe Ram Dvijana Sirunai Janaka Sutta Samet Raghurai Pekhi Praharshe Muni Samudai Veda Mantra Tapajvina Uchare Nabasura Muni Jaya Jayati Pukare Prathama Tilaka Vasishta Muni Kina Puni Sabape Prana Aya Sudina Sutta Biloki Harashi Mahatari Vare Vare Arati Utari Vipradana Vividha Vidine Jachak Sakal Ajachak Kine Singhasan Par Tribhuvan Sai Dekhi Surana Dundubhi Bajai.
Napa, the chandas also.
Navadundubi Bajai Vipula Gandharva Kinnar Gavahi Nachahi Apachara Vrinda Paramananda Suramuni Pavahi Varatadi Anuja Vibhishanangad Hanumadadi Sametate Gahe Chatra Chamara Vyajana Dhanuasi Charma Sakti Virajate Shri Sahita Dinakara हंसभूषण काम बहुच बिसोहई नव अम्बुधर बरगात अंबर पीत सुर मन मोहई मुकुटांगदादि विचित्र भूषण अंग अंग ही प्रति सजे अम्भोज नयन विशाल उर्भुज धन्य नर निरखंति जे। जय सगुण निर्गुण रूप रूप अनूप भूप शिरोमणि दस कंदरादि प्रचंड निशिचर प्रबल खल भुज बलहने अवतार नर संसार भार विभंजि दारुण दुख दहे जय प्रणत पाल दयाल प्रभु संयुक्त शक्ति नमामहे कव कृष्ण माया बस सुरासुर नाग नर अग जग हरे भव पंथ भ्रमत अमित दिवस निशि काल कर्म गुण निभरे जे नाथ करि करुणा विलोके विविध दुख ते निर्वहे भव खेद छेदन दक्ष हम कहु रक्ष राम नमामहे जे ज्ञान मान विमत तव भव हरनि भक्ति न आदरि ते पाई सुर दुर्लभ पदादपि परत हम देखत हरि विश्वास करि सब आस परिहरि दास तब जे होई रहे जपि नाम तव बिनु शमत नहीं भव नाथ सो समरामहे जे चरण शिव पूज्य रज शुभ परसि मुनिपते भीतरि नख निर्गता मुनि बंदिता त्रैलोक पावनि सुरसरी ध्वज कुलिस अंकुश कंज जुत बन फिरत कंटक किनलहे पद कंज द्वंद मुकुंद राम रमेश नित्य भजामहे अव्यक्त मूलमनादि तरुध्वज चारि निगमागम भले षट् कंद शाखा पंचवीस अनेक पर्ण सुमन घने फल जुगल विधि कटु मधुर बेली अकेली जेहाश्रित रहे पल्लवत फूलत नवल नित संसार विटपन मामहे जे ब्रह्म अजमद्वैतमनुभव गम्य मन पर ध्यावहि ते कहूँ जानहु नाथ हम तव सगुण जस नित गावहि करुणायतन प्रभु सद्गुणाकर देव यह वर मागहि मन वचन कर्म विकार तजित चरण हम अनुराग ही।
Now, Vasishtha Rishi saw the Simhasan. He didn't like it. So this is where Rama is going to sit, Bhagavan is going to sit in this Simhasan. So he just thought of Indra Bhagavan. He said, bring a Simhasan from heaven. So Indra immediately brought a Simhasan and placed it there, and the Vasishtha Rishi made him sit on the throne, and he felt it is really befitting to Ramachandraji. And Bhagavan and Sita ji sat on the Simhasan. All Veda mantras are chanted, and Prathama Tilaka, first Tilaka was put on him by Vasishtha ji Maharaj. Then Navadundu Vibharahi. So all Vajahi, you saw that, you read that, right? Navadundubi. Vajahi Vipula Gandharva Kinnara Gavahi Nachahi Apachara Vrinda Paramananda Suramuni Pavahi. All the Apsaras danced, and Dundubi, Bheri, everything was played beautifully. Bharatadi Anuja Vibhishana Angada Anumadadi Sametate Gehe Chatra Chamara Vijana Dhanu Asi Charma Shakti Virajate. Now Bharata thought of, holding the umbrella for Bhagavan. Why? Because behind the umbrella he can hide. He didn't even want to see. He didn't want people to see him, because he was the one. He was thinking 14 years ago, I was the one, the cause for blocking those, obstructing this. So he stood behind. Sri Sahita Dinakara Vamsa Bhushana Kama Bahuchavi Sohahi Nava Ambudara Badagata Ambara Pita Suramana Mohahi Mukutangadati Vichitra Bhushana Anga Angina Pradisaje Ambojanayana Vishala Urubhuja Dhanya Nara Tirakhandaji. So beautiful description of how Bhagavan is looking so beautiful. And all this, actually the ornaments beautify the people generally. But here Tulsidas ji says, when it comes to Bhagavan Ramachandraji, the Ramachandraji beautify the ornament, not the ornament beautify Ramachandraji. That was the beauty of Bhagavan. And all of them who saw Sita ji and Ramachandraji on the throne, along with all his brothers, surrounded with all the Vibhishana, Angada, Hanumanji, etc. They were all so happy, wonderful, everywhere celebration, because Ramachandraji became the king of Ayodhya today. Boliye Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki Jai. With that, we complete the story here. Of course, Uttarakhand is more Uttarakhand, because there is one meaning of Uttarakhand is what? This Uttara Pradesh is Bhagavan was going Uttar. From south he went to Uttar Pradesh. So therefore Uttarakhand. And also another meaning is Uttaram means answer. So there is a great question answer session is there in Uttarakhand. There is a story of Kagabushundi and this Garuda Devata conversation is there. Since that conversation is here, and there is a story about Kagabushundi, and then afterwards how he became a crow form and how he got blessed even though he was in that form, he got blessed by the Muni that he can remember, or all the knowledge of all the Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas, everything will come to him automatically, anayasena. And that blessing he got, and then he started continuously singing the glory of Ramachandraji. And then even Bhagavan Shivaji himself when heard from him, and Garudaji had this doubt. See, when Rama-Ravana Yuddha time, what happened? The Indrajit shot one Nagastra, and because of Nagastra, even Ramachandraji fell down unconscious along with Lakshmana. Both of them became unconscious. And at that time, this Hanumanji went and requested Garudaji to come and help Bhagavan. And after releasing from the Nagapash, Garudaji was leaving. At that time, Ramachandraji thanked him. Thank you very much for helping me and all that. And when Garuda said that, Garuda saw that, he felt a little surprised. Why? Because this Ramachandraji, he was Vishnu himself in Vaikuntha. He told me that such a situation will come. At that time you should come and help me. Now he is thanking me for that. Why? So he got confused. Is it the same Bhagavan or somebody else? So Ramachandraji is a prince or he is really Bhagavan? That doubt was there. So with that doubt he went to Kagabushundi, and Kagabushundi told the whole story saying that Bhagavan taken a role, he is playing it well. He has not forgotten his glory. So this he understood after listening to the story. So that story is there. That is why there is a lot of question answer is there. So the Garuda Pakshi is Garuda Devata, he is the king of birds, and he is listening to whom? The most heinous bird is called crow. And from that crow he is listening to. See, think about that contrast. So that is the reason why it is called Uttarakhand. Now, after completing it, let us go through the whole Ramayana in a brief way. I will give you a summary of it so that you will understand what is the thing that we have to take home from Ramayana. When we started the study of Tulsi Ramayana, in the beginning itself, we tried to understand what was the objective of Goswami in writing this Ramcharitmanas. And we found that he said, Swantas Sukhaya Tulasi Raghunatha Gatha Bhasha Nibandhamati Manjula Manatoti. One purpose was his inner joy, satisfaction and purification. That is what he wrote. And second, he said, More mana prabodha jahi hoi. I am writing this to enlighten my own mind. And he said, Nija gira pavana karana karana Ramajasu tulasi kahiyo. To purify by speech, I am singing Bhagavan Ramchandra's story. So thought, word and deed should be purified, and the whole purpose is only to grow in love for Bhagavan more and more. So whether we study this Ramayana very little, more or in depth, the point is whether we started loving Ramchandraji or not. Question is whether we are inspired with the life of Sita ji. Do we have the devotion for Lakshmana, Shatrughna and Bharata, Hanuman? How Sugriva and Vibhishana had that love for Bhagavan. If we can discover some love for Bhagavan, then our study or listening or reading will be successful. Otherwise, there is a lot to say. So many poets have written so much. There is no end to it. Raghuvir Charita Aparavariti Parakavike Ko Nelayo. Who can really exhaust all the glories of the Lord in describing them? That is not possible. Here the important thing is that we develop that love for the Lord. Okay, having said that, when we read Balakand, in Balakand we found that obedience is the first step to achieve success in any field. In sports also, if you don't obey the laws and rules, you cannot succeed. Whether it is literature, arts, whether you are driving a car, you have to obey the traffic rules. Acharaha prathamo dharmaha. Obedience is the first quality. This is what is taught in the Balakand. We saw some symbolism also there, but achar is prathama dharma, contact, obedience, that is what we have to learn. Then when you come to Ayodhya Kand, Balak becomes Yuvak, and the person has to have clarity, purity to take right decision in life. Guiding principle is only dharma. Sometimes people think right and wrong are relative. It cannot be relative. Then each one can say, as per this, he is right. Generally, what happens is we try to please ourselves. That is called self-gratification, or we try to please the other person. You know, the policy of appeasement never works. Here what we find from Bhagavan Ramchandraji's life is the touchstone was whether it is dharma or not. Anything tried to do in life, there may be painful to yourself. He knew if he goes living in forest and all will not be comfortable. Also he knew Dasharatha Maharaj may not live without him. But what is the right thing that has to be done? It is dharma. So Ayodhya Kand tells us the guiding principle should be dharma, not what pleases you or what pleases the other person. And dharma is one rises above one's own ego and selfishness and think about other people and their welfare. Then only he can do the right thing. Therefore, it is indicated that dharma is the supreme authority. This we learn from Ayodhya Kand. Now, Aranya Kand also we learn many things. Through Sita ji we learn. The entire Ramayana is meant for educating us. This you must know. It is clearly mentioned in Bhagavatam that this Martyavatara is for Martya Shikshanartham. It is for human education and learning. He demonstrated what we have to learn. So as long as Sitaji's mind was with Ramchandraji, everything was great. But when the mind became extrovert, even in Vedanta, Shankaracharya writes that if the mind slipped from the very goal of our life, whether it is contemplation, meditation, or the very goal of life, one slips, then he starts falling down like a tennis ball, slips from your hand and fall on a flight of steps, never stops falling down until it reaches the bottom. Here Sitaji's mind went away from the Lord and immediately Ravana caught her. Ravana stands for Dashamukha. There it was Dasharatha, the one who has control over 10 senses. But here it is Dashamukha, the one who revel in 10 senses. So, once you cross that Lakshmana Rekha, Maryada Rekha, then what happened? You come under the control of your senses. You become a slave to your senses. That is what in Aranyakant there are two characters. One is Shurpanekha and the other is Shabari. Shurpanekha stands for extrovertedness and sensuality, no control over oneself. And such a person, even though she came near Ramchandraji, her mind was not purified and she represents raga. You come near but still far away. On the other hand, Shabari represents Anurag, pure love. In her haste, she did not go anywhere. Bhagavan went to her place. So we have to convert our raga into Anurag. That is what we learn from Aranyakant. The symbolism given here is what Tulsidas ji has written. In Kishkindakant, what we find, there are many monkeys. Generally, the nature of monkey is very fickle and restless. Chanchalatvam astiratvam. No steadiness. But here what we find that all these monkeys are galvanized, brought together under the command of Sugriva. Sugriva means Sushtu Grivaha, well controlled. That is called Sugriva. Sugriva himself is under the command of Bhagavan Ramachandraji himself. So one meaning is that these monkeys, countless, represent our thoughts. But in meditation, what is said, we have to bring all these thoughts under control of the intellect. That Sugriva brought all the thoughts under control. So that's why in 6th chapter, Bhagavan said, Yato nischarati manaschanjalamastiram tatastato niyammetate atmanyeva vasham nayet. Whatever reason the mind goes out, you bring it back. The mind must be brought under control with the help of intellect. That intellect has to be merged in Chaitanya, Atma. Bhagavan Rama is Satchidananda Atma. All these thoughts are brought under the control of Buddhi, and Buddhi meditates in the nature of self and merges with the self. That is the meaning. Tulsidas also said that various monkeys represents various kinds of spiritual sadhanas also. There are many spiritual practices, japa, tapa, yoga, yajna, dana, snana, tirthayatra, etc. Each sadhana can be done for different goal also, but we should do all sadhanas only for Ram Bhakti. You see, all monkeys gave their life to Bhagavan. This we should learn from Kishkindakant, that all spiritual sadhanas are meant for Bhagavat Bhakti. Now Sundarakant, Bhagavan is Sundar, Bhakta is Sundar, and Bhakti is also Sundar. Anything that is related to Bhagavan, that is Sundar. Even weeping for Bhagavan is also Sundar. That is what in Bhagavatam he said when the gopis were crying, and Sukamaharshi says, Rurutus suswaram rajan. These gopis cried melodiously. How can you cry melodiously with raga? Someone asked a Mahatma, which sadhana you prescribe for reaching Bhagavan? He said, what is your idea? He said, I think I can sing. Then okay. He said, you sing for the Lord, not for money or people applause. You sing for the Lord. That way you can reach Bhagavan. In Sundarakant we learned many things. Saranagati, the surrender of Vibhishana, is beautiful. Now, Lankakant, what we learn is that Ravana is the personification of Moha. Moha word has many connotations. One meaning is ignorance, and the other meaning is wrong notion. Third, lack of discrimination and falling prey to temptation outside. Ravana stands for that Moha, and Moha Mula is Abhimanam. And this Moha, Abhimanam, has got a huge army. Desire, anger, greed, passion, so many are there. He said Sugriva stands for all of us a Jiva. Jiva is bound by karmas. Wherever the Jiva goes, the karmas goes after him. That is why Vali was following Sugriva wherever he went. Vali represents our karma. He kept on chasing him. Only on that Rishyamukha Parvat he goes, he is peaceful. Means whenever, so the Sugriva, when he went to Rishyamukha mountain, he goes, he is peaceful. Means whenever Jiva goes and listens to some satsang, that time he experiences some peace. And we are not able to put an end to all our karmas only when we take refuge in Lord. And that Lord alone is above karma. He is the one preside over karma. He is the karma vala dhata. Only when Sugriva take refuge in Rama and Ramchandraji finishes his karma, that is Vali. In Vedantic language, Vidyate Hridayakranti Chityante Sarva Samshayaha Chiyante Jasya Karmani Tasmin Drishte Paravare. When Paramatma is realized, then only ignorance goes away, doubts are dispelled, and all karmas are ended. This is what it is. Moha Rupa is Ravana. When that body identification, attachment and extroverted desires, all of them are there, and materialistically prosperous kingdom is possible, but there won't be any mental peace. All outer glamour will be there, the inner beauty won't be there. We have to cross this ocean of moha, delusion, like Rama crossed the ocean. Ravana and Kumbhakarna are the raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes. Rama was united with Sita ji, that is Shanti, after killing raga, dvesha, Ravana, Kumbhakarna. Now other way of looking at Ramayana, Ayodhya, there was no conflict, no yuddha. Everyone was living happily. Then Mantara, Kaikeyi came and created division of I and mine and you and yours. The moment I and mine and you and yours come, Rama Sita went outside. That means all peace and bliss gone away from our heart. And luckily Ramayana doesn't end there. It ended only after Rama and Sita returned. And who was responsible for Rama and Sitaji's return? The only one person responsible for the returning Rama was Bharata. If Bharata did not wanted, even if the whole Ayodhya wanted, Rama would not have come back. Bharata is love, and love personified. As long as love is there, unity and Shanti is there. Bharata's love brought Ram back, and there was Ramarajya. Ramarajya is Dharma Rajya. Bhagavan not only followed Dharma, but he raised the standard of Dharma. Now when Ramarajya was established, and Rama became the king, and Sitaji was the queen, then it is said all the Vedas appeared there in the form of bards and sang stuti on Bhagavan. Veda stuti. Thereafterwards, Indra Bhagavan, Brahmaji, Lord Shiva, Naradji also sang stuti on Rama. All of them sang glories of Bhagavan. And then we come to the end of Goswami's Ramayana. Uttarakhand is beautiful. What he has written in the end, Paina Koi.
Jai.
Last. Paina Koi Gati. Chandas. Paina Kehi Gati Patita Pavana.
Kehi gati pavan
Ram bhaji sunu sathmana ganika ajamin vyadhagi dajadi dharta rekhana abhir jaman kirat kasaswa pachati ati akarup je कहि नाम बारक ते भी पावन, होहि राम नमामि ते। रघुवंश भूषण चरित यह नर कहहि सुनहि जे गावहि। कलिमल मनोमल धोई बिनु श्रम राम धाम सिधावहि। सत पंच चौपाई मनोहर जानि जो नर उर धरे। दारुण अविद्या पंच जनित विकार श्री रघुबर हरे। कर
सुजान कृपा
निधान अनाथ पर कर जो तो एक राम अकाम हित निर्वाण प्रद समान को। जाकी कृपाल बलेस ते मति मंद तुलसीदास हूँ। पायो परम विश्राम राम समान प्रभु नाहि कहूँ। समदीन दीन हित तुम समान रघुबीर। अस विचारी रघुवंश मनि हरहु विषम भव भीर। कामिहि नारि पियारि जिमि लोभहि प्रिय जिमि दाम। तिमि रघुनाथ निरंतर प्रिय लागहु मोहि राम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भय सब संतन की जय।
इति श्रीमद् रामचरितमानसे सकलकलुषविध्वंसने सप्तमसोपानः समाप्तः। So पायिन केहि गति पतित पावन रामपति सठमना. O my foolish mind, listen to Rama Guna Katha, who has not attained the highest goal, whether he is literate, illiterate, whether they are qualified or not qualified, everybody got it. Even once they chanted his name, they are purified. Bhagavan Charitram is the most pavitram, singing that everyone can attain the goal of life. Even if you chant a few chaupais every day, you can chant, that will save you. The first thing, the most striking is, he is the most handsome person and a wise man, abode of compassion. The one who loves, who are helpless, that only one Rama, selfless friend of all. Not only that, he is capable of giving you liberation. By that fraction of whose grace, Tulsidas ji says, I found final peace in life. There is no Lord like Rama. Bhagavan, there is no one helpless like me. And Bhagavan, you are Dayaveer, Raghuveer, friend of the helpless. Therefore, please remove this terrible fear of samsara. Bhagavan, you should always be dear to me. Like what? He gives an example. Kamahi nari piyari jimi, lobhihi priya jimidam. That Rama be dear to me always, like for a sensualist person, how he looks a woman, how much he loves her passionately, that way let me love you. Or a greedy person loves money, same way Let me love you. So one is Rupa Sakti, another is attachment to wealth. And greedy person, Nama Sakti, he loves money. It is one-sided. Money doesn't love him, but still he loves the money. Man is slave of money. Money is not slave of anyone. Means here, may I always love your beautiful form and love to repeat your name all the time. Tulsidas says, those people always revel in the Ramacharitmanas. They will not be tortured or persecuted by this ghora tapa of this samsara. By God's grace and Pujya Gurudev's and Tulsidas' blessing, we were able to study a little bit of this Ramcharitmanas, and we offer our prostration to the lotus feet of our Pujya Gurudev and Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra Ji. Boliye Sri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. Thank you very much for helping me to remember Bhagavan in these 7 beautiful days. And because of you, I could reflect upon this Ramayana. I know you must have heard Ramayana many times. There are serials also. New ones are coming also. But what is given in Ramcharitmanas, I was able to touch upon it, not completely, not chaupai by chaupai. If you go, it takes so many years. After 2 years we took actually in our ashram. So, but at least touch upon the main point, salient point. I was able to give you the glimpse of it. But if I have succeeded in kindling little devotion for Lord, then my purpose is over. Thank you.